Hey, what's up? It's Dean from ProSulum.com, and we're here again for another video. Oh my gosh, this is cool. I'm gonna be starting to try and live stream soon. See how that works. Probably do that from my desktop. Just taking the dog out for a walk. Today we're gonna be talking about doing what other people won't do, and why it brings tremendous amount of results, even though it's a little bit harder in the beginning. All right, so I just recently closed a client. A client who was completely cold, completely had no idea who I was, no idea what I had to offer. When I reached out to him, he had no clue anything about me whatsoever. There goes the dog. We're on our morning walk. It's a day before Mother's Day, and taking the dog out just before my beautiful wife goes off into a retreat for the rest of the day. So this guy becomes a client, had no idea what I did, and ended up, I'll give you the steps and of what happened, and then I'll kind of reverse engineer why it works. Okay, so he has a financial services business, and he needed a virtual assistant who could make sure that his clients were being taken care of, right? That projects for clients, questionnaires, things like that, all the stuff for his clients were being taken care of in a systematic way, because that's what we do. We do ours are virtual systems consultants, something like that. We'll just call them something like that, where they create standard operating procedures and processes for you. And I don't want to keep walking up here. I'm going to get winded. Wow. And so this guy ends up getting a virtual assistant. He's going through the onboarding process right now, getting introduced to his virtual assistant, or virtual systems consultant. I don't know what I'm going to end up calling him. I'm going through a whole rebrand and everything like that right now, so we'll see what happens. And how that happened, prior to that, he had talked to me, and then prior to that, he had actually talked to a friend and client of mine who is a member of my sales team now. But before everything else, he was initially contacted via cold email. And if you don't know what cold email is, cold email means that I literally sent him an email out of the blue, without knowing who he is, without knowing anything about him. He was not warm. I didn't even know if he needed a virtual assistant. Now, a lot of people would say, that's impossible, Dean. No, you cannot send cold emails out. And it does not work. You need to set up a site. You need to set up a website. You need to do search engine optimization. You need to have a blog. You need to have a podcast. You need to have a YouTube channel. You need to have all of these things. And you need to do those for several months, every day. And then people are going to buy from you. People are going to buy from you. Hey, puppy. That's Luna. This is Luna right there. Hey, Luna, say hi. People are going to buy from you then. That's the only way. No. So when I first even found out about sending off cold emails, I was the same way. Completely, I thought the complete same thing. I'll change my hands real quick because my arm's hurting. I thought the exact same thing. Like, there's no way this is gonna work. You know, I'm so used to having to create a funnel and having to do all these different things in order to, and then run ads and so on. But I actually learned this from a guy named Alex Berman. You can go and search for him on YouTube. He has a lot of different stuff. He actually went through Ramit Sethi's training like I did a while back, which got him on the path toward entrepreneurship. And I had no idea that he even had done that. until recently. Okay, now I'm switching again because that's just uncomfortable. Got my green smoothie. That's what's happening there. And and so yeah, so he has a pretty popular video on how he does his cold emails. Okay, when I first saw that, I'm like, there's no way, absolutely not. It's not gonna work, never gonna work. You can't even do that. Probably it would be considered spam, and people would would mark you off as spam and blacklist you and yada yada yada, and you'd lose your email basically. Well, so I started watching one of his videos on what he was doing, and I'm like, maybe this will work. I'm not quite sure. And more I watched, I ended up starting to do his process, and lo and behold, guess what? It actually works. And guess what's even better? Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else. Like, very, very few people do it. And if they do it, they do it very poorly. They do it in a way that sounds like spam, sounds like a robot or whatever, and they get marked as spam, and nothing ever happens, right? Well, so all that being said, so that's how I ended up getting this customer, was through this cold email. I have my staff, and here's the other thing: people say, "Oh, you can't have your virtual assistants, you can't have your virtual system consultants. They're not going to be able to send off lead generation emails that really sound good and are really effective or anything." My guys, send off about 200 emails plus a week to different people. 200 email plus a week, and each one of those emails are customized toward the person that we're sending it to. And what responses do I get? I get a lot of no's. That's just the nature of the beast. It's the way it's going to be. I get a lot of no's. But even with those no's, I get things like, "Hey, thanks so much for reading that whatever you read," or "Thanks for reading that blog post," or "Thanks for watching that video," or "Thanks for whatever." So, so we have our staff. I don't write these anymore. I don't do any of these emails. I just send them off. I have a thing called Close CRM that I send these emails off, and they're writing all of this. They are the ones who are making it so I can reach out to these customers. And so this customer got a customized email from one of my staff members, from one of my virtual systems consultants overseas, from prosulum.com, prosulum.com. Link in the description, and thought it was from me, because it actually comes out from me. So ended up scheduling a call with my friend first, then scheduling a call with me, and yeah, bada bing, bada boom. This is a client that is worth tens of thousands of dollars off of one single cold email, which the prevailing trend right now is go and create a funnel, go and run ads to create a lead magnet, go and run ads to that lead magnet, and hope for the best. Just create a couple of different funnels, test, yada yada yada, run those ads, and that works. However, this works even better, these cold emails, because nobody else does it, nobody expects it. I've gotten tons of calls, meetings booked, and things like that. You can run autoresponders. It's just fantastic. It's a fantastic way of reaching your customer and getting them, just going straight to them and seeing, hey, do you need this service? Is this something that would provide value to you, right? So why is this so important? It's important because often you have to do things that other people are not willing to do, or other people are not doing, right? Even if it sounds like it is, even though it's not the prevailing trend, you have to sometimes do things that other people are not willing to do. This goes like in sales. A lot of the times people are not willing to cold call. People are not willing to get on the phone and actually call somebody and see if they would want the product or service, right? That happens quite a bit, especially in certain industries where that just never happens. And so the cool thing about this is that now, because nobody else is doing this, me setting off cold calls, cold emails like this, is basically writing my own checks, printing my own money. And so all I want to do in this video is to challenge you to start doing something that somebody else won't do. I was talking with a friend of mine who works in the fitness industry, sells fitness equipment, and nobody ever calls gyms when they're selling fitness equipment, which is crazy. Nobody ever calls gyms, like different types of gyms around the world. And so there's a big opportunity there. There's nobody calls anything. A lot of people, a lot of industries, they just refuse to call anybody, okay? So anyway, challenge you to do something this week that nobody else is doing, because it will reap a ton of benefits for you and for your family. See ya. Dean Soto with ProSulum, PROSULUM.com. What are you, sniffing dog? Keep moving, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.